Hello again. This is Bob, and I'm here today to talk about Spider Man 2099. But before I do that, I'm going to talk a little bit about my character, Ghost Girl. I am currently working on a comic that should be completed within the next month or two that I will be doing a Kickstarter on. So, just to give you an idea, this is a supernatural superhero. Her name is Mindy Moon, and when she was a child, her mother was taken by the monster in the closet. She was then taught by her uncle how to travel to the netherworld, where she then searches for her mother. I don't want to give too much away with this. This is her companion, Mr. Pink. He is a possessed stuffed teddy bear that she was given as a child, and he is a protector. So I just wanted to give you a little, little bit of information on Ghost Girl. This is the potential cover that I worked on. So I think I might end up making that as just a cover to the book. Okay, and without further ado, let's talk about Spider-Man 2099, a comic that came out at the same time as the Image comics. And I have to be honest, at that time, I pretty much stopped purchasing Marvel. I followed my artist over to Image. I was an Image baby. That's what I liked. But there were a few things that came out that I did like. I almost immediately stopped X-Men. I continued on with Spider-Man until they did the Clone Saga, which was so god-awful that I gave up, and I have never read a Spider-Man comic again since I've never purchased a Spider-Man comic after that. I reread the ones that I enjoyed. But this is Spider-Man 2099. Okay. So the credits here, we have written by Peter David, and Rick Leonardi is the penciler. I have to say, I'm in love with Rick Leonardi's artwork. From what I understand, Eric Larson is a huge fan of his as well, and I can see why his artwork is dynamic. It's awesome. I think Al Williamson was the perfect anchor to go along with this. This was a style that I had not really seen before, and I was wholeheartedly into it. I liked this 2099 outfit for Spider-Man. Very different, not what I would have came up at all with. If you had asked me to design a Spider-Man of 2099, I would have came up with something maybe a little more techy and not as demonic as this looks. I mean, we have like a spider skull thing in the center there. It's kind of if you did a mashup of Spider-Man and the Punisher. Okay, but obviously Spider-Man is just running away from future police. Okay, and flip into the air to do so. Honestly, just awesome artwork here. I don't know. Rick Leonardi tends to make things look so simple, but that so much had to go into it. Okay. With just a few lines, he's able to portray stuff. Like if you look at these buildings, you can say they're not extremely detailed, or even these like flying cars here, but they just look amazing. Okay. I'm not going to get too much into the story of this. This is the origin of Spider-Man 2099. And I gotta say, I liked it, but I'm gonna go on record here as saying that, the idea was not very original. And this is coming from Peter David, a guy who, I don't know, he was fighting Image at the time and telling them how they were just going to continue making the same stuff. They weren't going to revolutionize anything or broaden the scope of anything. They were just going to repeat everything that had already been done. And then he went ahead and repeated The Fly. Okay, so this is just The Fly. What is his name? Miguel is a scientist for some corporation, and he creates something that's going to transport matter. And as you can see here, it didn't work. And then when he goes to use it on himself, I think, actually, it was something I think that was like a personal medical device that was supposed to cure people because they ended up getting him hooked on some future drug that's like addictive immediately. And he put himself in there in order to purge the addiction from him. And then that's when a spider entered and, he ended up becoming half man, half spider. Basically just like Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. So like even the device that he like goes into is very reminiscent of what you would have gotten in The Fly. But again, just beautiful artwork. I recommend the comic. I love it. This is an awesome picture here. That was a great splash page. But again, it's just, I mean, it's basically that. It established some characters. It established what's happening here. He worked for a major corporation. That corporation wanted him to produce things that he was morally against. They infected him with a drug that apparently you're addicted to immediately, that bonds with your DNA, and you will die if you do not get it. So he tries to cure himself with the device that he created for this corporation. Again, with a spider crawling into the system or whatever, or some kind of spider DNA merging with his as he tries to cure himself. And then he comes out as this like actual hybrid of man and spider. Okay. The claws on his fingers there are for climbing, but they also apparently rip through skin. The fangs, I don't know, I guess he could bite people, but I have to be honest, with all the issues that I've read, I didn't notice that. I read up until I don't know, 15 or 16 before giving up on it. I'm not sure it ran that much longer. I don't recall seeing, other issues or anything like that. But again, I mean, it was an enjoyable comic, if not original in any way. Some of the slang that these people use in the future it's very telling of when this was written, because it comes off as like a Demolition Man type thing, where these people say these certain slang words in the future that. It's what you would have asked a 90s person what somebody from the future would have sounded like. And it comes off that way. So again, nothing really original here. Other than the costume. I'll say the costume is 100% original, because that is not a costume I had seen before. But I guess keeping in tradition with Spider-Man, you get the blue and red, which works. I did like it. I don't feel like they had to stay with that same color scheme. But the artwork is amazing. The story's not bad. Again, you're not getting anything new. Miguel has this holographic girlfriend or assistant at home or whatever. And basically, I mean, she's, things you would have seen out of Black Mirror. She's becoming sentient, I guess, this AI. And in later issues, you find out that, like, she's in love with him. You have Miguel's girlfriend here, who apparently he had hit when he was going through his drug withdrawal, and she was trying to help him. Miguel's brother here, who's wondering what's happening. That's basically it. Again, it was an enjoyable comic. I liked it. But as far as originality goes, you weren't really getting that. And I find that funny from a person who had battled the artists and writers at Image so hard to point out the fact that they were not going to bring anything original to the table. All right, guys. So if you like this video at all, please like and subscribe. I'm an artist trying to get my name out there while I produce my comic Ghost Girl I talked about in the beginning of this video. So again, like and subscribe, and I want to thank all of the people who have subscribed to me since I started doing this. It's really appreciated. See you guys later.